Hey guys, welcome to Heat, Happy Energy, Amor Tarot. So today we are going to look at, the consequences that this person may be facing of whatever they have done to you. So if you are somebody who has been hurt, betrayed, lied to by this person, you showed up wholeheartedly in this connection, and this person always kept giving you false promises, false hopes, kept apologizing, yet kept doing the same things while knowing well that this will hurt you, and then ran away from accountability. Then we are going to look at what is actually happening with them right now. Now the first energy is death and releasing. They're quite similar energies, it's like this is like cutting off with this scythe kind of a thing, and here as well this is like some sort of walking away, letting go. See, their intention was rooted in intensity. This is where in this connection it was more about what they could feel in the moment rather than building something lasting here. They did want to experience you, but the intention was maybe not uh, grounded in sustaining it in the long run, not in responsibility. It was not grounded in responsibility. See, they allowed the bond to deepen, they allowed you to invest, they allowed the connection to grow. But deep down, they never made the decision to stay and carry it forward. They wanted to stay as long as it was convenient and comfortable for them. This is someone who keeps things meaningful, but not fully investing in it. They didn't plan for a forever with you. They may have told you they want it, but I don't see them having a solid plan here. They just didn't stop things while it felt good. That's what they did here. So I know maybe it doesn't feel good to hear that, but that's what I'm getting. So I have to say that to you. That doesn't mean that they didn't care for you or they did not have any emotions, but they didn't have a plan for you. Now we have Three of Pentacles and Nourish. See, they knew you were putting in more effort. They knew you were constantly, trying to build something with them. They saw you trying to build something stable, something real, something that required teamwork. And instead of matching that energy, they stayed comfortable receiving. You kept nourishing this connection. You kept focusing on how to grow this connection. And they gave you just enough to keep you there, but not enough to actually grow the connection. This wasn't confusion, this was a conscious imbalance. So, if you would like to blame this person for this, well, you're not wrong in blaming them because they deserve the blame. Now, if you're feeling this is resonating with your situation, do subscribe to the channel. We have strength and distance. See, they avoided emotional vulnerability. They chose control over connection here. This is someone who would rather suppress their feelings than be seen in them if, again, it gets uncomfortable for them, if they have to take a real step. This is lack of courage. When things got real, this person, instead of leaning in, pulled away. They created distance, they created uh, space between the two of you here, because distance feels safer than emotional responsibility. So why they chose themselves over the connection is because they wanted to feel safe, and if they would, kind of keep you close, you would ask difficult questions and they would get stuck in the questions, because if they had to, answer back, I mean, you wanted clarity. You wanted them to give you clear cut answers, and they would only give you vague. So, and you would call them out from that. And once you call them out, well, that's where they create the distance, because again, the lack of accountability here. Now we have Two of Wands and chemistry. See, mentally, you're still on their mind. This is their mental space. There's still these fireworks, these sparks which are still there. They feel a pull, there's curiosity, what if playing in the background, a desire to, should I get in touch? Should I do something? Should I contact? Should I reach out? Those things are maybe even typing and deleting the messages. They think about different versions of how this could have gone, but they're stuck in observation mode. This is where they're watching, thinking, imagining, not acting. So, yeah, that is their mental state right now. Their emotional state, Nine of Wands and only you. Again, see, you see this energy. So I'm not saying that they didn't feel anything for you, but that feeling is not enough when the other person is not taking accountability for their actions. They keep hurting you while you're constantly telling them that this is hurting me. They apologize and go back to the same thing. See, emotionally they're guarded but not detached. They are exhausted. You were not replaced. Okay, you are not replaceable, is what I see from this. And you hold a very specific emotional imprint on them. This is where, so only you is all about, it says devoted, attached, crave. So there is some sort of devotion here, which I see definitely. And even though they're trying to protect themselves, trying to move on, maybe trying to create distance, trying to stay strong, they haven't been able to emotionally disconnect from you because there is some sort of string which, kind of is attached here. And maybe, you create this. Do you see this light in between the two of them? So this is what you create in them. And that's the reason possibly they're not able to detach from you completely. But instead of opening up, they've chosen to, you know, create these boundaries and uh, defend those feelings or hide those feelings from you. But it is exhausting at the same time. So emotionally, I don't see them doing excellent as such. Now we have Page of Coins and Pain. See, externally, life is putting them in a learning phase. They're being pushed to growth, but through discomfort. I would say that on the outside, life may seem like they are learning new things, they're stepping into new things, they're doing new things, they're, progressing in life, which they possibly are. But it is not easy, it is not smooth, it doesn't come without challenges. This is humbling energy, the pain. You see this. And the shoulders and spine is shown, so maybe somewhere in some way, in some part of their life, they're learning to grow a spine, is what I feel from this. But it is an overwhelming and humbling experience. Maybe the ego they showed you during the whole process, somebody else is breaking their ego and humbling them. They may be trying to focus on work, responsibilities, new beginnings, but underneath it all, there is pain, there is exhaustion. They're learning, but not in a comfortable way, is what I see here. Now we have Five of Cups and Silence. They are not truly happy, okay? They're sitting in emotional loss, regret. Um, Now, if you see this card, this is the love potion. This is the Ace of Cups bottle here, which is hidden. So it has been, kind of camouflaged by other things here. Even the passion tincture is like camouflage. All they have is, um, sorrow, silence, uh, walls around them. There is a sense of regret, loneliness that I feel here. This is not out loud. This is quiet inside, like, sitting alone, possibly in the dark, mostly in the nights, is what I see. Uh, Reflecting and sensing that loss, feeling that loss. They're not expressing it, but they are feeling it. And the silence between the two of you, it's heavier for them than they expected. They thought this will be easy breezy, it's okay, it's nothing new. Possibly this person has repeated the cycle with you over and over again, but it is burdening uh, on them. It's like a burden on them right now. Now we have Ten of Swords and healing. Um, See, what's haunting them about this connection, about you, is the ending, about the betrayals, about the pain they have caused. And they never properly apologize to you. They never really healed anything. They have left so many open wounds here. The way things ended, the pain of it, the finality of it, all that, is kind of haunting them. That is what stays with them all the time. Um, they think about how it collapsed, how far it went, how it reached a point of no return. In their mind, it's like, there is no going back anymore. This is beyond repair now because they did not repair it when there was time to repair it. And through that, I think there is some healing which is still happening here. But the healing is coming from facing the damage, not avoiding it anymore. So if this person is going to face the damage, there is some healing which is possible. Otherwise, man, I don't see any healing here. Ace of Swords and Trapped. See, karma is clarity, okay? They can see everything now clearly, what they did, how they did it, what cost, at what cost. There's no confusion left, but with that clarity comes a feeling of being stuck. It's like, their hands are tied now, and they have tied themselves, so they're not able to do anything about this clarity. Now what do I do with this clarity? Because I don't know where to take this. They don't know how to undo everything now. They don't know how to approach you, or if they should even approach you. They're sitting in hurt without knowing how to act on it. See, everything we've seen here, one thing is clear: you didn't lose them. Well, they lost access to you here, is what I see. Because they had something real in front of them, something steady, something genuine, something that was willing to grow, heal, build. And instead of, you know, meeting it, they chose comfort, ego, avoidance. And now look at the contrast. You're here reflecting, healing, evolving, and they are stuck in these cycles with these, hands trapped here. So what you need to remember here is you were never too much. You were just too real for someone who was playing small. And why do you have to play small games? And why should you play with small players? See, the truth that your higher self already knows here is that you are not the one who needs to prove your worth. You are the one people rise for, and if not, then they lose you. So instead of asking why did they do this to me, start asking why did I ever settle for less than what I deserved? And the moment you fully step into that, that energy, that is where everything shifts. That's where you take your power back. They're learning through loss and you're learning through growth. That is the difference here. I hope this gave you some clarity. Thank you for watching.